everybody, welcome to Sensible Fitness. My name is Ashish, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the most important phase in your fitness journey. The most important phase is a phase called the maintenance phase. Now, this is a phase that is almost inevitable for everyone to sort of reach it, be it in your fat loss journey or in your muscle building phase. There's always going to be a certain limit to the amount of fat you can lose or to the amount of muscle that you can put on in a natural way. At one point or another, you sort of reach this phase, the maintenance phase, where you won't be losing as much fat, you won't be putting on as much muscle, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about why it's important. The first reason that this is so important is because most of your shitty products or your scam products, your juice cleanses, your fat burner pills, your detox teas, all of which don't really work, none of them actually talk about the maintenance phase. And the biggest problem is that while they will promise a huge amount of results in a really small period of time, they'll promise stuff like 10 kgs in 10 days or something really, really stupid like that. What happens is once you stop these plans, like let's say that you actually follow these plans to the T, because most of these plans, most people do not follow them, because they're so restrictive, there's so many conditions to follow that most people cannot really follow these plans. But let's say that you do, and let's say that you follow these juice detoxes and you do lose 10 kgs in 10 days. What usually happens is once that 10 days is over and once you're off this juice cleanse or whatever thing you're taking, what happens is you will go back to your old habits and you'll go back to your old caloric balance. And when you go back to your old habits, when you go back to your old balance, you basically go back to your old weight, you go back to your previous body fat percentage. Now, of course, you could start one more juice cleanse after that, and you, again, if you are to follow all the steps, you may lose that weight again. But if you have to keep on coming back to the same thing over and over again to keep losing that weight, then I don't think it really works. If you're not able to lose the weight and then keep it off for the rest of your life, I don't think the program actually works in the long run. So these programs, which are just short-term programs, will never actually talk about the maintenance phase. The second reason is that the maintenance phase is a phase where the amount of results that you'll see is drastically reduced. The effort would still have to be the same. Like if you're losing fat, you're probably going to have to put in the same amount of effort. If you're building muscle, you definitely have to put in the same amount of effort as before. But while in the first, say, 1, 2, or if you're lucky, the first 3, 4 years, you will be putting on a huge amount of muscle. After that point, putting on muscle becomes so much more difficult, and you will have to put in the same amount of effort for a drastically reduced result. So what started out, because you might have started out with a lot of motivation, maybe you saw someone's body and you were really inspired, all of that will quickly go away because you will basically be slogging away and you won't have the results to actually enjoy. One of the big factors in motivation or in why people stay motivated is because they get rewarded pretty frequently. And if your focus is on the results, when you reach that maintenance phase and you realize that you have to put in all the effort just to keep the muscles that you have and not really grow it as much, that motivation gets depleted really quickly. And because of that, people do kind of stop going to the gym and people do sort of quit. And that is the big problem with fitness, is that there is no exit plan as such with fitness. Like in most other things in life, you can start something, you can do it, and then there is a stop point where you leave it. With fitness, really, there is no exit point. If you stop working out in a certain manner, then you will lose the muscles there. So how do we actually deal with the maintenance phase? How do we sort of deal with the drastically reduced results and stuff like that? One way is to keep having new goals. For example, in my own thing, my first few years were all about losing fat, and that was my main goal. Slowly, as I started going towards, I went more towards the muscle building thing. So while I started losing fat, I found muscle building more and more interesting. And now, especially with lockdown and with gyms not being open, doing home workouts, I realized that my cardio was really, really bad. So now that's become my new focus, is doing cardio, working on my cardiovascular strength, and making sure that my stamina is much, much better. One way to deal with this would be to keep changing up your program. Now, of course, if you were to say do a certain program, let's say you do a hypertrophy focused program where you are in a slight caloric surplus and you're focusing on muscles to sort of maximize hypertrophy, then yes, you will gain a lot of muscle. If after that you went on, say, a cutting phase, or if you were to try and improve your agility, maybe your mobility, then to a certain extent you will lose some of the muscles because the body just isn't capable enough of sort of handling that many stressors in life. So you will sort of lose a bit of the muscle that you did build up. So while you will lose some of the progress that you would have made, having a new goal and having a new challenge sort of keep things fresh, and you will still continue to see results, unlike what happens in the maintenance phase. The second thing mainly is to sort of enjoy what you do. Alan Thrall actually has a very good video on this where he sort of talks about why people quit the gym, and one of the points that he brought up was how people sort of focus on the results, and when those results sort of go away, they don't find it quite as fun to come into the gym anymore. And he sort of talks about how his whole motivation was to sort of get the post workout burn. That's what his big motivation of, because he actually enjoyed that workout. He didn't really care as much about the results, although obviously having a goal is important. He actually just enjoyed the workout. He enjoyed that post workout burn, which is why he's still able to go to the gym in the long run. And that is a very good idea for most people. If you actually enjoy the process, then if the results are drastically reduced, then you'll still be able to go to the gym. For example, if you enjoy your workout plan, then having reduced results, while yes, it can be slightly demotivating, since your main motivational factor is that exercise itself, is the workout, and not really the result, you will still want to go to the gym. You will still want to turn up at the gym. You will still want to work out. You will still want to keep going through the maintenance phase. And this actually helps with the maintenance phase, is doing what you enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. That was the video on the most important phase in your fitness journey. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon so you get notified every time a new video drops. If you have any comments, questions, doubts, or topic ideas which you would like me to make a full-fledged video on, please do drop it in the comment section down below. Please do follow us on our various social media platforms as well. If you're interested in conversations about music, please do check out the Basic Trouble podcast. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.